Hi everyone, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Welcome to a new day. Hope you're doing okay. Great wherever you are in this world. I'm having a wonderful morning here, bright and sunny, and just ready for adventures. I don't know what that will be today, but I like to start the day with a positive attitude that something great is going to happen. It's just a good way to start the morning. But anyway, I'm having my cup of tea. I chose the most peculiar tea this morning. I can't find it. Here it is. It's rhubarb tea. It's a Twinings tea, and I've had this before, and I actually do like it, but it's very strange taste. But anyway, you've got to try them all right? So if you've got a tea you want me to try, send me the name and I'll do my best to find it. But cheers, everybody. Hope that you've got something nice to drink, coffee, tea, whatever. But I want to share with you a fun article by one of our bloggers on a topic that is a huge passion for me. But first, I want to remind you that today's sponsor is International Living. This is a company that is for the people who are thinking about retiring abroad now or in the future. You're intrigued about another part of the world and what it might be like to live there, part-time, full-time, or maybe just alternate back and forwards. But whatever you've got in your mind, International Living puts together a global retirement index, which has got 25 different countries, places that they think are good for you to retire. They've got people on the ground doing all the testing and writing, reporting back. So check out their website. It's internationalliving.com. then /60 and Me. There's a great video there you can watch and just sign up for their Global Retirement Index. There's no cost, it's free of charge, and they'll share their wisdom with you. But the topic today, okay, is related to travel, of course, because as you know, or maybe you don't, travel is one of my passions. I love travel of all kinds. Train travel is one of my favorites, but recently I have fallen in love with cruising. Honestly, I never thought I would, but I adore cruising, and I've got a little secret to tell you at the end about the cruising world that you might be interested in. So this article I want to share with you is by Lynn Clare. Lynn is a travel writer, and she cruises a lot. She didn't always, and she says that her first cruise was very much like mine. Well, my first cruise was as a child on a big ship, but my first real cruise on a ship of about 700. It was a smallish ship, and she was really nervous because it was, she's going to be by herself, and it was like, what is going to happen? But she had a good time and immediately signed up for the next one. Well, the next one for Lynn was 3,000 people on a big ship. Now, I've never been on a ship with 3,000 myself, and I'm looking forward to that opportunity. It should be quite good fun if you have an open mind. But she thought, oh my God, 3,000 people for whatever it was, 10 days. What am I doing? What have I got myself into? But she said that actually she found it was pretty fun, and she did it alone as a solo cruiser, and I would be probably a solo cruiser too. Now, putting aside the fact that solo cruising can be expensive, you have to pay a single supplement because the rooms are designed for 2 people. But if you can find a good deal, and there are some out there now, there are plenty of cruise lines like, Fred Olsen and Viking and a few others that are really good, Costa, MSC, who have deals for single cruisers. So it's worth checking out. Anyway, but Lynn got on this ship with 3,000, and she talks about the things like reasons that she thinks cruising is perfect for the solo traveler. So here we go. The first thing is the cabin, of course. She, unlike me, actually, she lives in her cabin. I normally get out and about, but she said she loved being in her cabin. And of course, the cabin is your home on the sea, so it's good to know the pros and cons of where, midship versus the either end. And it's general consensus that midship is a good place to be, stable. In the middle deck, maybe even a lower deck. But people have mixed views. I was on the 6th floor on a recent cruise, and I loved it. I was so close to the deck at the top, it was fine with me. But stay away from the noisy areas too, like near an elevator, if you have a choice. Sometimes you don't have a choice of your cabin if you have a good deal. You have to take your chances. But anyway, that was the first thing. Don't book like around underneath the entertainment area, for example. It can shake a little bit and be noisy. But you know, all in all, the cabin is your little home. And I actually, by the way, do stuff. I take with me like little tea lights, and I take like the kind that are battery run, and I take some decorative scarves, and I always buy flowers at the first port that we stop, or even getting on board. I have flowers in my arms, and I put them in a glass or spread them around, and I just find that really brightens up the environment. So that's one thing. She's got her specific preferences, but I may be a little more open-minded, but that's what Lynn says. Room service. Room service is Lynn's favorite thing in the universe. She loves it because you don't always want to sit and eat with 3,000 people, but you want to be somewhere where it's cozy. And many of the cruise lines will serve you to your room free of charge. Viking does that, and a few others, but most of the time you've got to pay a bit of a supplement to have your food brought to the room. But she loves the idea of sitting out on the balcony, if you have a balcony, watching the sea go by, eating your breakfast, cup of coffee. It is pretty much amazing. Another thing she talks about is shore excursions. And you know, the cruise lines arrange for shore excursions for you. But if you don't want to do that, you don't have to. You can do your own thing. And if you do your own thing, it's just a matter of being safe and being on time. In other words, don't go wandering off into a place you don't know without a map, without your phone, without, you know, just be careful because different places are different. And also make sure that you get back to the ship on time. It's really important. They leave without you. That's the bottom line. Also, there are some companies that do port excursions outside the ship's organized ones. And also, if you're there for a long period of time or even overnight, there's a company, for example, called Viable. Viable, Viable, that where people who live in the area will do, you know, take you around, and they're very reasonable. They're all vetted. You know, it's again, do your homework here. Don't trust me, but it's another option for you. Another thing she talks about is information. Get information. When you get to port and you have Wi-Fi, always check ahead. You know, what's the town center like? What to look for? And also be sure that you listen to the daily announcements. This is pretty much on every cruise ship. You'll get a little piece of paper, or you'll hear an announcement. On the Hurtigruten cruise I just did, we had a 5 o'clock gathering, I think it was called, the night before, and they revealed everything that was happening the next day. They were very good about sustainability and not producing a lot of paper. So, but normally on a ship, you'll come back after dinner and there'll be a little piece of paper with the index for the next day. Entertainment. You don't need to do it, but it's fun. You know, you can go to the free entertainment, but if you bring your own headphones, earplugs, you'll find that you'll probably benefit from those on a noisy night. And you can download music and videos. And I'd remind you, by the way, to do that before you leave home so that you don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. If you don't download them, you're going to need internet, obviously, in order to listen to them. So that's important. Next thing, mealtime. Mealtime for solo travelers is okay. You can ask to be at a solo table. They sometimes do that. They mix people up. You can ask to sit with 4 people, and, you know, 3 of them are going to be strangers, and that's okay. But that encourages like less couples, because you might have 1 couple and then 1 extra person. So a table for 4 is a good idea. But if you don't want to do that, there's a buffet place where you can always have your food at your own pace, and you don't need to sit anywhere in the dining hall. It can be pretty overwhelming. And I can imagine with 3,000 people. Dress code. Most ships now is relaxed. A lot of them, like Fred Olsen, does a dress-up night or a couple, or themed parties, you know, pirate nights or some other cool theme. And it's always nice to be prepared. They'll always help you get in the mood. But usually the dress code is pretty relaxed. And for a solo traveler, you don't need to bring anything more than maybe 1 little cocktaily dress, and just get in the spirit of it. Libraries and quiet spaces are always kind of fun. Don't give up on the noisy spaces, and get in there and get in the cafe and make a noise, have fun. But most people like to have some quiet, so make sure that you know where those nooks are. I always find the library and the internet room are good places to go. So solo cruising is the way to go for Lynn, and she advises anyone else to just look at these 9 reasons. You don't have to be with someone else. It's nice if you do too, but if you want to travel solo, that's the way to go. And my little secret that I was going to mention at the end is, you probably may know this already, I've talked about it before in other videos, but we now have a website called shecruises.com. shecruises.com. It's for women cruisers of all ages, and on that site I've written lots of articles about solo cruising, about cruising as a woman, and also packing tips, preparing tips. I've shared my own crazy adventures, and there's lots of videos of my own trips I've taken and ones I'm planning, and I think you'll enjoy it. So it's called shecruises.com. And what we're going to try to do, I'm talking to some cruise lines now about arranging some cruises for our 60andMe community. Our Patreon community will be the first to know, but then you'll know after that and have plenty of opportunity to sign up. We'll probably do some things that are quite small to get started, so keep your eyes open for any shecruises.com announcements. And we have a website, shecruises.com, and also YouTube, youtube.com/shecruises. Have a look. It's going to be fun if we get something organized. I hope you can join us. But anyway, that's the kind of the talk about solo cruising. Hope you found it fun and interesting. Have you ever taken a cruise? Have you ever traveled solo on a cruise? Leave your comments in the section below. Let's have a conversation, have a chat. I'd love to hear where you've been and what you've done, and share your experience. So take care, everybody. I hope that you have a great day. Maybe you're going off on a cruise somewhere or some travel. Wherever you're going, have fun, and take care of yourselves. We'll talk again soon. Bye for now.